How's it going, guys? This is Christian here with Fink Fabrications. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this simple key holder out of pallet wood and some hooks that I blacksmithed out of some nails. I'm not going to be showing you how to make the hooks, although I will link down below to the video that did show me how to make those, since it's not my idea. Alright guys, stay tuned and let's go ahead and make this. Alright guys, so we're here at the workshop bench, and I just want to let you guys know and show you what tools that I used and materials that I used to make this project. So here we have our drill driver, we got our screw driving bits, as well as a countersink bit and our drill driver bit to drive the screws in. We got a set of screws, we also have some sandpaper. We do have the hooks up there. Those are going to be made out of horseshoe nails. I do have a square, and then I have a 9-inch piece of half-inch pallet wood, and then some wood glue to hold it all together. Alright guys, so right now I'm going to be finding the halfway point all the way down this length of wood. So guys, now that we have this piece of wood marked right down the middle here, we're going to take our bandsaw and go ahead and cut it right in half. Alright guys, so now that I have this board cut in half, I'm going to go ahead and sand all the sides and all edges nice and smooth on this sandpaper, which happens to be 80 grit. I'm going to put it right flat on the table and use my table as the flat head, or the flat base, to make sure I ensure all the sides are flat at the end of it. So one thing I do want to point out, guys, is that sanding is optional. I know some people like the patina of the pallet wood or whatever wood you do choose to use, nice and rough. I like to give it a light sanding. I always go in the direction of the grain, just to kind of keep some of the features like these rough saw cuts from the mill. And then also I like to give it a nice smooth finish. So guys, now that we have our boards cut, I'm going to go ahead and mark where I want the holes to be. These are going to be these 2 holes on the end, the ones that will be used to fasten to the wall, and then they're going to be these 4 across the front that are going to be used to fasten these hooks to the board. So when marking out these holes, I tend to go right in the midpoint, so right along the midpoint is going to be all the holes, and then these end holes where the fasteners go into the walls to secure it to the wall, they're going to be about 3/4 of an inch in, and then I find the midpoint and go 1 inch from each side, giving me a 2-inch gap for these 2 holes, and then I go 2 inches from each far hole, spacing these interior holes about 2 inches apart. So one thing I do want to point out is that I made these 9 inches long. When I did that for a reason, so it's easy to find the midpoint and it gives me good spacing with these measurements across the board. So 4.5 inches is going to be my midpoint right over here, so 4.5. So that's going to be the midpoint, and I'm going to go 1 inch each side, and then 2 inches from those. So there you go. So those are the marks. So we got that one, these 4 holes, and that one, and I'll sand off those other holes that do happen to show up within. So for drilling these holes, I'm just going to be using my 7/64, right? Yeah, 7/64 drill bit that happens to be attached to my countersink. So for these middle holes, I'm obviously not going to be using a countersink, but for the end holes, I will be going all the way through and using a countersink. I do have the board propped up on this scrap piece of pallet wood that happened to be the other end of these boards that I happen to cut off. Alright, so let's go ahead and make these screw holes. Alright guys, so there we go. Nope, sorry about that. There we go. We've got the 2 countersink holes, and then we've got the 4 screw holes for the hooks, evenly spaced across the front here. Alright guys, so this next piece of the video is actually going to be optional. So I don't like my screws to be stainless steel, or like the bright shiny colors when I'm putting them on this piece with these dark hooks. So I'm going to take these stainless steel screws, heat them up with this torch, and then kind of burn them into this piece of wood that I've already done this before to get the other ones black. And it's going to put a little bit of this charred wood on the top of the screw, just to get a little, just to give it a little bit of the dark patina. This is optional. You can leave these screws bright and shiny. It's all personal preference. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this done. Alright guys, so off camera I went ahead and sanded this front down a little bit. So one thing I do like to do, it's a little overkill, but it's my personal preference, is I take these 16 gauge 2-inch nails and I go ahead and cut them down to the length of a a drill bit that I have right here in my drill. They're about the same length, and what I do is I go ahead and take that drill, and once I put these together I'm going to drill some holes through the top here. Sorry about the camera there. That way I can throw these little nails in here and they will help secure the glue by about, let's see, looks like, I don't know, about a ½ inch here into this piece. I do 3 across the top as well as the glue, and that thing's going to be rock solid. Alright, let's go ahead and glue it up. Alright guys, so now that I have these holes drilled across the top here, I'm going to go ahead and lay a layer of glue here, slap this top on, and drive those nails right through the top there to help secure it. Alright, let's do this. So one thing I do want to point out is that I was very careful not to put a lot of glue on the inside of that joint. There's only a little bit of glue that did come out the back here, but nothing actually came out of the front, and that's exactly what I wanted, because I'm actually not planning on finishing this piece. I'm going to leave it just the raw wood. And another thing that I did when I did assemble this is I made sure that the cut middle piece is actually both of these inside pieces. So this bottom piece and this front piece. So both of the exposed ends happen to be the ones that have the rough sawn lumber. Just in case anyone did want to finish this, it adds a little bit of extra characteristic that doesn't come from the bandsaw that happens to be pretty plain. Alright, so let's go ahead and put these middle hooks in, and then the project will be done. So putting these hooks in, I will be using my drill driver with a Phillips bit in it. But it's pretty plain and simple. I'm just going to line them up and go ahead and drive the screws right in. And I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. Alright guys, so there you have it, the finished product. We've got this top piece and the back piece that were cut in half, glued together. We've got these handmade hooks here, which once again I do have the link in the video description on how to make these. We have all of them evenly spaced across. This is something that you guys could probably sell for $15 or $20 at a craft fair, on Etsy, something like that. And people love this type of stuff. Feel free to finish it any way you like, paint it, stain it. You can even just put a clear coat on it, bring out that wood grain a little bit more. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe for more videos from me with Fink Fabrications. And yeah, here we go. Keep creating, guys.